So for 423 Friday, Station 2, we're going to be talking about plate tectonic theory. And that is the theory that the plates have moved over time and were once connected together to form the supercontinent called Pangaea. So we're going to click Station 2 and make a copy of our assignment. And this activity is going to assess our knowledge of the historical development of evidence that supports this theory. So we're going to read each scenario and discuss. We can discuss during Zoom, or you can email your teacher, but we're going to record the response onto our answer sheet. So it says 4 friends were hiking in the mountains when they came across a shell fossil like the one to the right. The friend agreed that the fossil of the organism clearly came from the ocean, but they were confused about how the fossil ended up high on a mountain. Here's what each friend thought. Carlos thought it belonged to a hiker and fell out of their backpack during their hike. Jenny thought the land must have been covered by water a long time ago. Jordan thought an animal carried the shell up the mountain and dropped it. Marcus said that weathering, erosion, and deposition slowly moved the shell up the mountain. Which friend do you agree with the most, and how do you think the fossil ended up on the mountain? Explain your answers on the sheet. So when we look up at our activity sheet, we can see that we would type here which friend we agree with the most from the take a hike scenario, and our own thoughts on how the fossil ended up on the mountain. Okay? And we can talk about that more in Zoom, and you can reach out to your teacher if you want to have a discussion about that. I actually agree with a couple of people. There's 2 of them that it could make sense. It could be argued. One definitely more than the other. If I had to choose one, that would be easy. Your second activity is the plate tectonic theory. So use the puzzle pieces below to create a single land mass. Hint, you do not need to rotate the puzzle pieces. We will then use the completed puzzle to answer the extension section. So I see here lots of pieces of, I see several pieces. Some of them have some of the same thing, like there's these dotted lines. We have yellow fossils, and we have blue fossils and green fossils, and then some mountains so to connect them. So they also have similar shape, like that one. And I don't know what this one's doing, but I think this goes here somewhere. Okay, I'm going to connect those dotted lines. I want to take that back. There's a better match. Look at the shape of this guy. Okay, so I'm going to use my shift and my arrows to make this fit better. Boom. There. And then look, this shape matches. I went too far. I need to use my shift arrows. And I'm going to line these dotted lines up. And what you're also seeing, we're lining up the shape of each puzzle piece, and we're lining up the dotted line, and I'm actually connecting the fossils. So for example, this blue fossil probably belongs up here, and it just so happens that the shape also fits right there. That's really cool. And then last but not least, in this nice little right angle, we have our mountains. So your puzzle should come out looking like this, where you can see that we used the shape of each puzzle piece, the fossils, and the land features to create this Pangaea puzzle. Very similar to what our scientists used to formulate the theory of Pangaea, that all our continents were once connected. Think about how easily South America fits into Africa, and think about the 5 types of fossils we learned about and how they found them widespread all over the world. There was a certain species that they found on 5 different continents, and that's super interesting. So all of this comes together for the theory of plate tectonics.